Most ecom founders think Google Shopping is a paid channel. You just pay a little money to bid on the terms and you get some clicks. But there's a whole section of Google Shopping that is literally free. It's called free product listings, and a lot of people aren't optimizing for it. But first, if you don't know me, my name is Michael Sack. I'm the founder of SEOasis. We're an AI era SEO agency to help ecom brands doing anywhere from 100 to 10 million a month get recommended first on ChatGPT and on Google. And in this video, I'm going to show you how free product listings actually work, the feed issues that you have to look out for, and why fixing your feed also improves how AI tools like ChatGPT surface your products. I'm going to open a real Merchant Center account here and walk through it live. So let's get into it. But first, here's a little background. Google introduced these free product listings in 2020. It kind of flew under the radar for a lot of people who are focused on ads, and they didn't do a huge announcement about it, but it applies to every ecom store out there. Anyone who has a Google Merchant Center account, you qualify for these free listings. And you're getting them right now, whether you know it or not. But whether or not you're optimizing the listings to get as many clicks as you can is a whole separate question, and what we're going to dig into here. The way it works is pretty simple. It's the exact same as paid ads. When someone searches for a product on Google, they see those product grids. Some are paid, but now some are free listings. So the paid listings will show up first, of course, but then below them and sometimes mixed in between, you'll see the free organic listings. And they're pulled from the exact same spot that the paid listings are coming from, the product feed in your Merchant Center account. The only difference is you don't have to pay to get them listed. They just show up. Of course, the catch is that Google gets to decide which products show up based on feed quality and quality of the titles and the descriptions and stuff like that. So if you're not dialed in there, if you have any errors for your feed or you're missing any data, you are not going to be showing up nearly as often as you should be, and you're definitely not getting as many clicks as you would otherwise if you had optimized titles. Now, a lot of brands have issues they just don't know about because, again, they're not really paying attention to this. And that's what we're going to try and fix today. So first, I'm going to hop into this Merchant Center feed here. And first thing to look at is to just go to your products here and click on the Needs Attention tab. And you'll see any important notices. Like here are 10 pages that aren't eligible to show up. So this is a pretty high priority fix in these people's case. And so, yeah, you'll see a few different types of issues. You can filter them by prioritize there to see all the major issues, and you'll work through them as you see fit. But anything that's not approved, definitely fix it. And you'll see these like errors and notices that you should fix to optimize feed quality, but they are not highest priority. The main goal with this is just to get your not approved count to 0 so that you don't have any technical issues blocking your products from showing up. Anything that says limited or just like a notice, that's not a technical issue blocking it. It's just Google saying, hey, fix this thing, and you might show up more often. Quick pause though, if you're an ecom brand doing anywhere from 100K to 10 million a month and your products are sitting in Merchant Center with errors that you've never addressed, you're for sure leaving free traffic and revenue on the table every single day. So we'll do a free AI SEO audit for you that covers your Merchant Center feed, health, your organic visibility across Google, ChatGPT, and Reddit, and then give you some specific fixes that will actually move the revenue, not just the traffic. We ran the same audit for Dr. Brandt skincare and identified these exact gaps. They went from just spending $4,000 a month with us, they generated an extra $99,000 a month in incremental organic revenue in just 73 days. So links in the description to book an audit. All right, let's get back to the video. Now that you've had all these errors fixed, next thing to look at is the quality of the product data itself. So you can click into any product here and show you some examples. I'm going to filter to our organic feed here. To give you an example, I'm going to filter down to our organic shopping feed here, and then I'll just pick a random one. And we can see, first thing to look at is product titles. You need optimized product titles. So what these feeds do is they just pull directly from the website. And the product titles on the website aren't necessarily what's going to rank well and get clicks in Google Shopping. In the Google Shopping feed, I mean, you can go search this for yourself. You'll find that a lot of the products, of course, they tend to lead with the brand name before anything and then go through, of course, say what the product is, and then they have a bunch of different attributes and features. And so we can see that the organic shopping feed is the raw feed coming straight from Shopify. And, the title is very bare, the description pretty short, and everything else is fine, to be fair. but there's a couple of things to look out for, right? And we'll just focus on the title for now, but you can see this is what's being pulled in raw directly from Shopify. And then we have a supplemental feed optimizing these, which don't have to get into the nitty gritty here, but the point is what's actually showing up is this title here, which is much more optimized. Instead of just saying Hydroglass Prep Serum, it's Hydroglass Prep Serum Gel for dry skin, plumping, hydration, moisturizer. So kind of talking more about the benefits and some of the features of it, and of course leads with the brand name. And then you can see the description is way, way longer. So that's the second thing that you want to look for. When you have these short descriptions, you're just giving Google less information in the product feed to know whether to serve it to this particular person at this particular time. So when you feed in the entire description from Shopify and then add in some more information about it, you're just giving more information to Google, which is a common theme on this channel. The easier you can make it for Google to understand what you're trying to sell, the better results you'll get with Google serving it to the right person at the right time. And then the third thing, real quick, and this applies more so to like marketplace websites, and that is making sure you have the GTIN available. The GTIN is just the global identifier for any given product, right? So if you're a marketplace and this isn't getting put into your feed, Google won't easily understand what exactly that product is, even if you have a great title and description. Global identifier in there is going to help it kind of connect the dots across different websites and understand, a lot more about the products than you could possibly put in the feed yourself. All right. So those are just kind of the main three things you want to look for: the title, the description, and then of course, images. I guess I didn't mention that at all. You want to make sure you have as many images as you can in the feed, because of course that's the main visual aspect to it. So if you have good images and you have a good title, you're just increasing your chances of getting a click. And here's something most people don't know yet. AI actually pulls directly from this feed as well. So when ChatGPT recommends a product in a specific category, they're not just pulling from Reddit threads and review sites and your website directly. They're increasingly pulling from this structured product data, especially the Google AI overviews, because Google has direct access to this. So it is the source that feeds product data into these LLMs. So a clean, well-optimized feed with the complete product data, accurate GTINs and rich descriptions and correct categorization, all the images, makes it a lot easier for the AI tools to understand what you sell and then surface to your products to the relevant people. And this is kind of the same, like I was saying before, it's the same principle as structured data for SEO. The more clearly you can communicate your product data to these machines, the more surfaces your data can appear on because it understands it better. So when you clean up your feed for your shopping listings, you're also improving signal quality for AI-driven product recommendations. So it's a win-win. If you're looking at your merchant center diagnostics right now and you see a long list of issues, don't try and fix everything at once. The order to go in is, of course, fix the errors and the technical things that it tells you to make sure that they show up in the first place. Nothing else really matters until those are resolved. Then I would fix the product titles and descriptions for your highest revenue driving products. If you have tons and tons of SKUs, this could be a pretty big undertaking, but just start with the top sellers and then get those right and move down the list from there. There are also some software out there that help you do this automatically, so you can look into that as well. I don't have any in particular to recommend, but they're just a Google away. They're not too hard to find. Then again, from there, address the missing descriptions and then work through the GTINs. And that's the exact prioritization model we use for our clients, right? Fix the blocking issues first, then optimize the highest revenue driving products and move down the list from there. Another quick pause. If you want the full framework we use to do this audit and optimize ecom brands for AI search visibility, including how feed quality fits into the bigger picture, I put together a free guide called How Ecom Brands Get Recommended in AI in 2026, and the link is in the description. So go grab it. All right, so here's why most brands miss this completely. Free product listings are not new. They've been around since 2020, but a lot of people just still aren't paying attention to them because it kind of gets overshadowed by the paid ads that you are probably running on Google. It's partly because Google they didn't bury the announcement, but they didn't make a big effort to make a big deal out of it. And another part is most SEO agencies or SEOs in general don't touch the merchant center because again, that's typically a paid ads thing, but they should, because leaving the feed alone leaves a lot of money on the table from an organic perspective. Because your feed and your website are part of the same organic ecosystem, right? So a collection page with strong SEO and a feed with bad product titles are working directly against each other. Even if the collection page ranks well organically, the shopping listings for those same products that are in that collection are going to be suppressed or mismatched, and you're just leaving those clicks on the table and leaving that revenue on the table because you're not treating them one and the same. And the brands that are winning organic product visibility in 2026 are treating their feeds as an SEO asset, as an AI visibility asset, not just a paid ads requirement. And that shift in thinking is the difference between getting free shopping traffic and not getting any, to be frank. You now know how free product listings work, which feed issues are blocking your visibility, and why fixing your feed improves your standing across Google Shopping and the AI search tools. But here's the next problem. A clean feed gets you products seen on shopping. It does not get your brand recommended inside ChatGPT or Google AI overviews necessarily. That requires a completely different channel that most ecom brands aren't touching yet, which is exactly why you need to watch this next video, where I break down the exact Reddit SEO strategies ecom brands are using to get cited by AI tools and drive compounding organic revenue in 2026.